Hey,
Hello.
hey, hello. I'm hoping we're alive. We're on live. Let us know if you can see us and you can hear us. This is a bit of a tech test for us as well. But welcome to Get Hired, Stay Hired. This is a show for executive job seekers who want to have the edge in their job search and have more control over their future success once they get their roles as well. So your CV and your covering letter are all brilliant, or we're hoping they're brilliant, and they should get you in front of the right people. But actually, what gives you that ability to get hired faster and stay hired longer is what happens before, during, and after those interviews. So that's what we're going to be looking at today, is how to give you that edge. Now, my name is Sarah Farmer. Hello, you can probably see that on the screen. I am an international multi-award winning executive coach, which is quite a mouthful, and the best-selling author of Leader Unleashed. And my role is to help people develop the mindset, the confidence, the clarity, and the conviction to be able to show up in interviews before, during, and after, and in their onboarding process and beyond, to make sure they have more control over the success that they have. Executive coach, which is quite a mouthful. Oh, and now I'm on echo. Stop playing that live, Vanessa.
I know.
Play with the tech. Stop playing with the tech. I'm going to hand you over to Vanessa, who's going to stop playing with the tech and introduce herself.
Sorry about that. I had it on silent, but I thought I'll just check that we are going live. It is just a pilot. We're just testing the tech. But yes, hello everybody, and welcome to our pilot show of Get Hired, Stay Hired. You've met the fabulous Sarah Farmer. Who's an executive coach. She's helped me. I'm sure she's going to be amazing at helping all of you as well. What do I bring to this? So I'm a marketing director, and I will bore you senseless talking about visibility, credibility, and memorability so that you can get found quicker and get hired quicker. So I'm going to help you to show up and communicate and tell the world how wonderful you are so that the jobs find you.
Brilliant. And it's not boring at all. It's super, super important. So
really, really important. And then that's it. The idea is we want to help you to get hired. And the easiest way to do that is to get the jobs come to you. So I'm going to help you market yourself in the right way. So that's what it's all about. Yeah.
The aim is anything you can do that is in your control, and there's a lot of it that is in your control that you're not utilizing fully yet, we want to help you with. All right.
Absolutely. But on that, before we go on to say what this is all about, please do, because this show has got to be interactive. This is all for you. We want to help you. So we need you to ask questions. We need you to get busy in the comments. So you can start right now, if you like, by in the comments saying hello. Tell us and introduce yourself to the network, because we do want to build a community here. Tell us where you are in the world and what kind of job you're looking for.
Do that. Right.
And any questions?
Oh, goodness. Right. Yes. Any questions you've got. And we've had a few questions come through already. And we will, although this was just going to be an intro show, we are going to look at a very important question once we've just explaining what this is and what this isn't. So it is a practical place for you to ask questions, get advice, have some coaching, have some support, make friends. There's nothing more lonely than feeling like you're the only person job seeking, which you're absolutely not. We do know it's really difficult out there. Am I all right to say that you are part of that crew?
Absolutely. I'm looking for a role at the moment. Yeah.
So you've got a real life job seeker here who is living and breathing all of this stuff. So we'll be watching you avidly. What this isn't, though, it is not a CV writing class. It is not about how to, ATS hacks. It's not about job boards. It's nothing to do with that. We are blessed to have a really wide network of amazing recruitment experts, CV writing experts, visibility experts who we can call on at any time to come into the show. And they may actually be in the background anyway. We've asked them to keep an ear out and be in the group that you're in, listening in, so they can answer questions as we go. And we will be having guests on the show as well. So let us know what it is you want that's outside of our remit, and let us bring the experts to you. We have a big network of awesome people. Themes we're going to cover then, B, we're looking at mindset, we're looking at how to build trust, how to make sure you go for the jobs that are right for you and stop scattergunning and what's behind all of that, how to be more likable, because likability is one of the 7 powers of persuasion. If in an interview someone doesn't trust you and they don't like you immediately, you are fighting a losing battle. So there's so much to cover, isn't there? So many things to cover. How we write our CVs, how we write our covering letters, how we show up on LinkedIn or not, all of that. There's too much to mention, but we're going to cover it all. And this work that I do with my clients is help clients will go from 0 job offers to 4 job offers in the space of 12 weeks. So this stuff works. And with the added benefit, huge benefit of a world-class CMO, my God, we can't give you much more. We cannot give you much more. So what about on your side, V?
So obviously Sarah brings everything about mindset, which is going to help you get hired and get you seen in the right way. And then when you show up at interview, you're confident in your competence and you can sell yourself. Me, I'm all about, as I said, visibility, credibility, and memorability. You can't buy what you can't see. So when you're firing off CVs, but nobody knows the person behind the CV, it's very difficult to get that trust, to get that likability. So I'm going to help you be seen in a nutshell. But yeah, it's very complementary. It's mindset and marketing. And as Sarah said, we'll bring in experts on that, on the more kind of recruitment front when it comes to CVs and things like that.
Okay, brilliant. So, we're looking forward to getting started. Thank you for everyone that's joined us so far. I've just popped a few people up on the screen that are here, and I've stopped on Robert. I hope that's okay, Robert. But lovely to have you here. So you're down near Salisbury, struggling to get an interview and or land an interview result for operations head with strong commercial awareness. Okay, so tell us a bit more about that, if you would, in the chat. How many applications have you made? How are you applying? How are you feeling about it? I imagine probably not too great. I nearly swore then, but this is a non-swearing show. It's going to be. I'm going to try not to swear. Okay, we'll try until we get Johnny Walker on, and then it'll be sweary Mary. Off we go. Tell us a little bit more about that. That must be really, really stressful. Really stressful.
Just on that as well, Robert, you aren't on your own there. I know loads of executive job seekers who just aren't having a look and can't understand it. So you aren't on your own, and that's a really important thing to realize. It's a really tough market out there at the minute, but we are going to help you.
We are, and one thing I will say just straight off the bat, Robert, go back to Robert for a second, is that you may have already done this. So there may be things that we'll say to you, you'll go, well, I've done that, I've tried it. So just, bear with us. Some people won't have done the things that we're talking about. But one of the biggest gaps I see for people who are applying is that they are going in cold all the time. So they're not going to their network. And I was recently having a conversation with one of my clients who was in a similar situation. And I said, how many of your, top 20 contacts have you been in touch with? 0. Yeah. What's she done? Started talking to her contacts. What she got? Interviews or being passed on to other people. So, Robert, let us know if you've tried that already. And then we'll go on from there. Right, who else have we got? I've got the button going now. So, hey Petro, thank you for joining us. Right, thank you for joining us from the Ukraine. Okay, so that may well be true, that maybe you are seen as a high risk profile, but I also wonder how much of that is your belief. I talk a lot about mindset. If you've decided it's a problem, then it will be a problem because it'll come out in everything that you do and say and how you apply for things. So just have a think about that. What is your evidence, and there may be plenty, that you are a high risk profile? How have you decided that? So share that with us. That would be really interesting to know.
So Stuart Dabb is from London and he's looking for Chief Financial Officer and Financial Director position. So good luck with that, Stuart. Hopefully we're going to be able to help you.
Yeah, get in quick. Apparently he's brilliant. I've never met him before, but I'm sure he's brilliant. Hey, Helen in Windsor, looking for roles in talent with a focus on change and transformation. Good. I mean, wow, great job. I'd love that job. If I was doing a real job, that's what I'd do. Not that mine is, you know what I mean. So yeah, good luck with that. If you're looking for that sort of person, make sure you get in touch with Helen. Oh, sorry, you go.
So it's okay. Go on. I'll read this one out. This will Bunmi. I'm not going to try and say your last name. Sorry. Thanks for putting this together. You're very welcome. Content writer from Nigeria. Lovely to have you with us.
Yeah, fabulous. Maybe some people need a bit of help with writing their content. So absolutely. Why not get in touch? Am I pressing buttons or are you?
Go on, you do it next. You do it next.
Oh, I pressed the wrong button. You do it.
Okay, right. So we've got Belen in Glasgow, and she's looking for marketing or legal jobs in Scotland, Spain, or remote. Excellent.
Brilliant. We've also got, are there any free online tools that allow us to test CVs or other tools that we can use to gauge how findable we are? I don't know. That's a question we need to ask our experts. It would be worth speaking to Greg.
Maybe Greg Wyatt. Yeah, there are lots. And when I was last looking a couple of years ago, there were, but now with the explosion of AI tools around, there are going to be lots of AI tools, and ChatGPT is brilliant, isn't it? That will not necessarily test CVs, but will, if you kind of throw in a job ad and throw up your CV into ChatGPT and ask it to give you 10 changes or ideas of how to make your CV fit the job role, it will do all that, and it will find weaknesses in your CV as well. So there are lots of great AI tools out there that are free and can really help.
And to add to that, I would also say, I mean, I use AI an awful lot now. It knows me better than I know myself, which is a little scary. And the more, I don't know how much people are using this, but the more you use it, the more you tell it about yourself. I'm not too worried about people finding out everything about me, so I'm happy to share it. But I talk about my business, my products, my tools, my personal life, everything. So when I ask it a question, it has a full picture of who I am. So if your CV might be missing something and you've told it a great story about something you've achieved, it will bring that to light as well and say, oh, what about this? You've forgotten this, Stuart. So, you know, make sure you.
I just realised I rushed in to answer the question, but didn't read the end of the question to gauge how findable we are. I'm not sure about that. Well, the problem might be, and again, Greg Wyatt might be the guy to talk about that because he was talking about that more recently. But you can on LinkedIn look at how many people have been looking at your profile. And you can see that over kind of 90 days or 30 days or 7 days, just with the free LinkedIn. You don't need to pay for that.
I would also say, don't get too hung up on measuring findability. I would work on being findable, because sometimes we can get really stuck in, well, give me some proof that I'm findable, when actually we know what to do. We know we need to be out there talking. We know we need to be sharing our stories. We know we need to be picking up the phone or sending emails to our top 20 to 30 people that we've worked with over the years who would possibly help us. That can feel a bit icky for people. We can talk about that too, and not focus on how findable I am. Is this to do with ATS scores, by the way, the findability?
That's like testing CVs, maybe. Yeah. But you only need to be findable to that one hiring manager. I mean, you only need the right one.
So if you know the person or the people that you want to be in front of on the jobs that you want, how are you making yourself findable? You can gauge that yourself. If you say, well, I'm hiding and I'm sitting in a dark room with glasses on, not very findable. I'm you know, in jest. But if I am sending out private emails, introducing myself, if I'm showing up on LinkedIn, if I'm doing stuff to be seen and be heard, you're going to be much more findable. But please get in touch with Greg Wyatt, who should be able to answer that question if you do want those, you know, the figures as well. Hey, Sam. So Sam's in Lancaster, relocating to Manchester, looking for head of ops, senior ops, product governance roles. Right. Sam's your lady. She's also brilliant. Again, never met her, but I know she is. I can just tell.
And do you know it's Sam rather than Samantha, or are you just assuming?
I was assuming. I was just being really friendly. Samantha, is it okay if I call you Sam or just S?
So Petro is applying and networking. Good.
Okay, good. But do look, Petro, at the evidence behind that statement, please. Just have a little think about that. How do I know that I'm a high risk? Yes, it would make sense. I get it. But how do you know? Have you got proof of that? Okay, no, I'm seeing what's coming up next.
Mhm.
Yes, he has got proof of that. Ton of ghosting from companies. That doesn't necessarily mean you're a high risk. It means you're being ghosted.
Yeah,
that could be for lots
that's
of reasons.
common. That's very common.
So common. Okay, that might be a bit more of a sign, which I hope that people are. If you are listening to this and you are doing that, shame on you. You're just
especially in software engineering, where people can really easily work remotely, and it's very common in that industry to hire people outside the UK or outside the country of the company. So hopefully that isn't going against you, but we need to make you confident in your ability and start telling your stories about your abilities so that people then come to you and they don't care where you are.
Yeah, and on top of that, this is whatever constraints you are in, because we've all got issues, we've all got a problem, we've all got something that is going to make us less attractive than somebody else. What our job is to do is to help you shine so brightly with all the brilliance that you've got within you that it negates the other stuff. Now, I appreciate you're in a different country which is at war, and that immediately could cause issues. It shouldn't, for the reasons Vanessa's just said, but don't let that be your focus, because that can bring you down. Focus on how brilliant you are, what you can do. You will get found, you will get hired. I already like you. If I had a job for you, I'd give you a job. I don't have. Yeah, good luck, and keep us posted and keep coming back on here. That the shows will be going live from the 1st of September. V.
So Robert says, having only been in industry post, leaving the military for 4 years, he's struggling with experience despite having delivered stellar results as a hybrid operations commercial head in small and medium-sized enterprises. Nigh on 50 to 60 applications sent for commercial operation roles since March, with 10-ish interviews. Oh, good. So you're
getting interviews.
That's really good. That's really good. You are making yourself wanted. So results: too strategic, not enough experience, too broad, no feedback, only worked in SMEs, and they want smaller. Yeah, people can make excuses there, and Sarah's going to help.
You know where I'm going to go with this one.
Absolutely.
Bullshit is what I'll say. Oh, I swore. I will swear, but this is bullshit. I am so fed up with hearing these crappy reasons, excuses for people not getting into the next stage or whatever it is. Now, sometimes it may be true, but mostly what is true is we haven't wowed them. We haven't turned up confidently enough, competently enough. Our stories aren't good enough. And I'm saying that, Robert, with love, because you said I'm struggling with experience despite having delivered. So are you struggling? Do you believe that you're struggling with experience? Or are you now believing you're struggling with experience because you've got this feedback saying you've got enough experience? Do you need some help or some thought around how to capture your stories? We really
says he's delivered stellar results. So let's lean into those stellar results. Dig deep, start telling the stories about that.
And please go and look at Vanessa's videos from last week. Is it, V?
Yeah. Last week they weren't videos; they were posts.
Sorry, posts.
But I went to my CV and I kind of picked 4 different areas of marketing, because I'm a marketer. So branding, product launches, lead generation, and events. And I did a kind of a case study for each one of where I delivered stellar results for companies that I've worked for in the past. So tell your case studies, your client testimonials. There you go.
And also on my website, there's a few online courses. One's called what's it called? It's for helping people get hired. So it's a pre-interview success guide. When we come off this, Robert, I will just get a copy to you, because it may be just the mindset and the communication of it that's the issue, but also how you're telling your story. So I'll send you that for free, because I'm lovely.
And it is Sam. There you go.
I knew that. I was just checking. Thanks, Sam. I didn't want to say that we talked earlier. I was trying to keep it private.
And then how do I help recruiters mitigate the risks?
Can I have a go here?
Yeah, do it. Go for it. That's all.
Right. One thing that we will talk about a lot is calling out the elephant in the room, blowing up the bomb, whatever you want to call it. I call it the elephant. Where there is an elephant in the room, and by that I mean there is something that you think and they could possibly think is a risk, we need to bring it up front and center and talk about it straight away. So I'm not saying this is exactly the right thing to do, it's something to think about, is how could you bring up the fact that it could possibly be a problem for some people and then allay their fears. What we're looking at is how do we build trust? One of the ways we build trust very early on in a relationship is by demonstrating empathy. One part of empathy is thinking about what might be on the receiver's brain's mind, what might be worrying them, what questions might they have, what might stop them from wanting to speak to me, employ me, have this conversation. And the teaching is this, is we think about those things. We don't go in and go, right, my name's Petra. You're probably thinking I'm rubbish, I'm stupid, I come from the Ukraine and blah, blah, blah. Not that. What we're saying is, what are the one or two things that would be on that person's mind that would stop them from thinking positively about you until that is dealt with? And if it isn't dealt with, they will then use it as an excuse against you. Does this make sense so far, Vanessa?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So I would recommend, if I was working with you, to go in and say who you are. I've been thinking about it from your point of view. I am from the Ukraine. Some people are seeing this as a risk, and I'd like to check with you how you feel about that at the moment. And I'd like to talk to you about why it is not a problem. Yeah. That is the same model for any risk, any issue, anything. For example, I don't have experience in this thing that you wanted. It's one of the things I did not have experience in. So before I start, I would say, thank you. Obviously, you wanted to see me because I'm in the interview, but can I just check how important was that bit? Because you've seen from my CV that I don't have that, and I'd like to explore that with you before we go any further. That does two things. One is it, gets the elephant out, gets you speaking about it. Two, you show up as the confident leader in that room that they need you to be. So it does two really powerful things. It's good for you. It's good for them. I'll stop now. I hope that helps.
Yeah, no, it's really good. Andrew McCaskill, who used to do, he's a recruiter. He used to do a LinkedIn Live kind of in the COVID years when there were a lot of people out of work, and invited lots and lots of questions. And he talked about this. He called it blowing up the bomb. So when you got into a discussion with a recruiter, he was absolutely just like, let's handle whatever might be on your mind and niggling. Let's get out of the way, and then we can concentrate on the strengths, the results, the stellar work that you've done in the past, and you can get on to selling you. But let's get that niggle out of the way first. So absolutely, if you think about what the risks are that recruiters might have in their head, and start posting about it on LinkedIn, start saying, this isn't a problem because this isn't a problem because I've got this, and let's get them out of the way.
Don't even use the word problem, because we've got to think about how people's brains pick up information. Yeah. So I'm going to pick up on the words from an NLP angle. Is this is a brilliant thing, because so avoid using the words like problem that then send off a trigger into the other person's brain going, there's a problem, crap, oh, I've sworn again, rubbish, this is going to be, I'm not going to cope, am I? So yes, just be very careful. We'll talk about how people receive information, how the words you use, your body language, everything leaks out into that person's brain to help them either feel safe with you or feel repelled by you in the nicest possible way, as in you're too much of a risk. I love this. This is what this show is about too, supporting each other. Thank you, Petro. Look at that, Robert. This is not a risk. This is an achievement. That's what we need. Mm-hmm. Mindset, what we think is true, so important.
So Robert is now believing that he doesn't have the experience despite delivering over 43% AAR and ops efficiencies, developing team financial and broader business areas, and added new, identified new revenue streams, led expansion abroad, and being pivotal in turning one business around to deliver the best results since day one. See,
mindset.
Yeah. I mean, you've got it all. You can write lots of posts about that and share. I mean, it sounds amazing. And as Petro said, your military experience is going to go in your favor, because people really do admire that.
And
you know, the training, the discipline, and all these ideas we have of what military personnel, ex-military personnel bring to a role. So lean into that, absolutely. And you've obviously delivered some amazing results. I'm hoping you're going to get some calls after this.
Oh, you are. You're getting a call from me because I'm going to ask for your address. I'm giving you so much stuff today, Robert. You're my favourite person today. I'm going to send you a copy of my book as well, Leader Unleashed, because although it's about helping people excel in their onboarding, everything in here is about mindset, and it will help you how you show up before, during, and after the interview. So another free gift coming your way. I'm going to keep doing this. Right, we are coming to the end of today's show.
So there's a few more things to say.
Yes.
So yeah, mainly it's about getting hired, but it's also about staying hired.
Yes.
We know for executive job seekers that you know, it's one huge challenge getting hired in the first place. But then when you're a higher salary income earner, does that make sense? A higher salary earner, it's really difficult. The expectations are huge once you get enrolled. And so you need to continue that positive mindset when you enroll. And Sarah is definitely going to help you with that. And it's also in the book. And again, the visibility, credibility, and memorability is also as essential when you first start in a new role as well. So we're going to help you keep the role too. So that was important.
Yeah, it's a really, really good point. Good point. And we were looking at the percentages today. I was sending you some information through, wasn't I, about how many people, that the percentage of people that have an executive onboarding failure within the first 18 months. And the numbers are between 40 and 70%, depending on where you look at. And then I looked at it again, because I hadn't looked at these numbers for a while. I said, what about in the first 6 months? And it was still up at around 40%. Yeah. Most of them being attributed to being in the wrong role. And we need to talk to you about that as well. One of the biggest topics we want to share with you, which we could start with next time, but we might start with something else, depending on what you want, is how do you go for the right role? And how do you not go scattergunning and just go for everything because your brain's going, oh my gosh, I really need a job. So going for the right role is important, not just at the time at interview, but also once you get in to your role. I can't tell you, well, I could, but I won't tell you how many people I've spoken to or worked with that 6 months in pulling their hair out. And when we pull it back or take it back to where it started, it was they went for the wrong blinking job. We know why now, and they wish they hadn't, and we're back to square one.
And again, it's really difficult, isn't it? Because there's a lot of people who aren't working at the minute, and that role, that offer of a role is going to be really, really attractive because it's going to get some money coming in. And this is why it's really important that you get found rather than you chase a job. If we can help you to get found by people who like you and like what you've got to offer and create the role around what you're offering, you're in a far better position than applying for something that already kind of exists. So we want to get that balance right so that you get roles.
Sorry, can I have one more thing? I know we're about to run out of time, but
we can go a bit longer.
I know we can, but we really shouldn't. But we might. But just a story just came to my head of when COVID hit, and I was working mainly with executive job seekers. I had one gentleman in particular who was absolutely fabulous, and he wasn't getting the interviews that he wanted. And I talked to him about who are the top 20 to 30 people who that you could contact. He did that. And then I also looked at what are the top 10 companies around you that you want to work with, because he wanted to stay within his geography. Long story short, he found one that he really wanted. There wasn't a job, but he went and found a job. He said, he wrote to the MD, can I come and talk to you about potential for the future? I'd love to learn more about your business. I could add some value in that meeting, just for fun.
Yeah.
And he did get further in that. And I can't remember fully whether he got the job and kept the job, but I do remember that he got a conversation.
Yeah.
And you're not going to get anywhere without a conversation. I need to check in with him and see whether he ever got that job. But anyway,
that's really good. Really, so we'll talk more about that as well. Just for next, so we're starting on the 1st of September, and it's going to be every Monday, so not Fridays, every Monday at 1 o'clock. We will be on both feeds at the minute because we we chose the wrong tech. We need to go back and change the tech. So we will be on both feeds, both on Sarah's and on mine. In the future. And what we're going to do format wise, we're going to have one key theme each week where we'll start and we'll open. So we'll kind of warm everything up, but we invite you, even if your question is off theme, if you put in what you're going through at that time, if you want help with something specific, don't think, we're going to have to wait till week 6 when they're going to cover this thing. Ask what's pertinent and important for you now. And as Sarah said, if you want to ask live, ask live. If you want to contact us in between shows so that we can prepare answers and find out answers, do send us DMs.
Yeah, very happy to do that. Petro, great. I was about to say, even from just the short session we've had today, what's something you could do differently that you're not already doing? Put it in the chat. What are you going to commit to trying? And what is it that you would like to commit to trying, but you're blocking yourself against? Because that would be interesting to see as well. And we might be able to just help you with that. But great work, Petro. You know, people think that by doing something differently, they will get a different result. They absolutely will. But let me be very clear about this. If your mindset is right and you're doing something differently, you get a better result. So please, yes, just change your actions, but please also remember that everything we do is driven by our mindset and how we feel, how we think, and what we believe about ourselves.
And that's what we're going to start with, isn't it? In our week 1, we're going to start with mindset. Sarah's going to help us get the right foundations to lean into our competence, to be more confident about what we can do, so that then everything else that we learn and we discover, we're starting off with really solid foundations.
Awesome. Right. It is 1:31. So we're going to love you and leave you. If you've enjoyed the show, could you let us know that you've enjoyed the show? If you could repost it, invite your friends that are in a similar situation, that would be great. We want to help as many people as possible to get hired, stay hired as long as they choose to, for as long as we possibly can. All right. Help us, help you, and help them do that. Obviously, there might be some competition out there, but you know what? There's plenty of jobs, really.
And importantly, I mean, what I can see more and more comments coming in. Everyone is helping each other, and that's another thing. We really want to build a community. Yeah. Please do connect with other people who have commented, and we can all help each other. And if you're stuck on your own, make appointments with each other. Start talking to each other. Meet up. Have Zoom meetings. Build each other up. That's what it's all about.
And everything we teach you, or you learn on here, or you think about doing, you can discuss it together. You know, you don't need us. I mean, it'd be nice if we could be there with you, but you don't always need us to be there. We'll give it to you and then go and discuss it. But if you do need extra help, both of us will do what we can to help you. We're going to love you and leave you. Thank you for joining us. It's been a joy and a pleasure. We'll see you on the 1st of September. Good luck out there.
Bye-bye.
Take care.